We're just going to talk about the initial conception of this idea, of this very series. I'm using Chat 3.5. This is not going to make any difference. You can use Chat GPT 4, the paid version. It's $20 a month, and that's great. I haven't used it yet, but this won't matter. The stuff I'm applying, the things I'm going to teach you guys, it applies to both of them equally, and you're going to get different kinds of results with ChatGPT 4, but 3 is amazing, 3.5. I am going to have a series idea, and it's about how to teach writers, specifically professional writers, amateur writers, beginning writers, any kind of writers. If you use a language of any kind, you're a writer. Whether you get paid or not is really irrelevant. So I have this idea. So I'm just going to type up this idea. I'm going to give a little bit of information. Just like if I was talking to a person, I would give them some context. So it's important to give context. So I'm going to say, I'm a professional writer. Now that might not seem relevant, but it might be. So you never know, because we're not sure exactly what ChatGPT is going to pull from. I'm a professional writer, and I have an idea about creating a daily LinkedIn and or YouTube, because maybe I want to do this on YouTube channel series. I want to say YouTube series, all about the many ways I use ChatGPT as a writer. So I need a good title. So let's see. I need a good title. Nope, back up. Let's say my audience. Now, what's important? I'm going to give it enough information, and then I'm going to ask it to suggest some titles, some clever titles, some blah, 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 based on ChatGPT that fits my audience. And I don't want to just say ChatGPT for writers. I could. That's probably fine. It might even be the best. But myself, I want to explore what might be a better idea for me. I want this to brand me correctly. I want it to do a bunch of things in addition to ultimately serving the readers and the viewers finding it easily understand what it's all about. As a ChatGPT 2, generate ideas, refine ideas, work on my ideas, and all kinds of things related to any genre or type of writing known. Okay. Please, let's see, I can say please because I'm nice, but I can just tell it. Create for me 10 series names that are clever, easy to identify what the channel is about, and understand that I just told it what the channel is about before, but I need to tell it, look, refer back to that, right? That are clever, easy to identify what the channel is about. Let's see. I don't want it too long. ChatGPT, let's see. Something like about 10 letters long. Again, I can modify this later. Clever, easy to identify what the channel is about 10 letters long. And plays on my branding as the Da Vinci of writers. No, of writing, sorry, of writing. And the reason I'm called that, the reason I branded myself as that name is because of all these range of stuff that I can do. Let's try that out. So let's see, we've got the Idea Alchemist, number 9. That jumps out as being interesting and I like it, but it doesn't say anything about ChatGPT. Now my guess is that I've pushed it too far by introducing the Da Vinci of Writing. Write Vinci's moves, stupid. The word mastermind, dumb. Incovation station, I don't even know what incovation means. Creative inkwell, penning potentials. These are all various right genius. So, Storyteller's Lab. Now that number 10 isn't so bad. Storyteller's Lab. That's interesting. I like the word lab. So the rest of them are really crap, but it does tell me that I'm probably putting in too much. I'm really putting in too much information with the whole Vinci of Writing. But I do like Storyteller's Lab. So what I'm going to do is copy the Storyteller's Lab, and then I'm going to tell it. Now, I know, little one. No, I can't help you right now. I'll pet your head a little bit. So now I enter this stuff, and this channel, this column, as I keep adding stuff, ChatGPT will reference it if I tell it to, and it's gonna use that. So I'm gonna say, using only the number 10 answer, generate new ideas, but do not play on my Da Vinci branding. Okay, let's try that and see what happens. So using all the number 10 answer, generate new ideas. Do not play on my Da Vinci branding. And now look, it sounds like it's really not doing anything with ChatGPT at all. But what you can see it's doing is, in my mind, it's, okay, Storyteller's Lab, I like that. Is there anything in this list that might be ideas I would use? You know, honestly, this reminds me of like, if you were writing something and you're like, what's a better word than the one I'm thinking of? You might go to your synonyms, right? You might look those up and look up synonyms. So this is very much the same idea as far as this one. I don't see anything in there that really leaps out at me. You guys can see what I'm looking at as well. Creative ink spells, word wizardry. There's a lot of alliterations going on, which is a fun idea. Wordsmith workshop. But ChatGPT, okay, I'm going to try this. Using the words ChatGPT, Storyteller's Lab, and all of the information in the first. Now, one thing, all the information in the first paragraph, in my first question, but leaving out the part about Da Vinci. Create 10 more names, but also don't worry about making it 10 letters. Okay, let's see what this does. Okay, all right, GPT Chronicles. Now that's the first time it's used it. I like Chronicles. I like the story suggestion. That's very, very interesting. ChatGPT Chronicles. I'm just going to write that in here. Doesn't mean I'm using it. I'm just going to keep that in my mind. It's not alliterating. It's not an alliteration, but it doesn't need to be. Sometimes alliterations become too much. Imagination catalyst. No. Let's see. Writing experiment. Not really. Story forge. I like ChatGPT Chronicles. It doesn't say anything about writing. Chronicles certainly suggests. And, I'm going to say define the word chronicles. There might be something in the definition that's helpful for me. A noun that refers to a historical record or a detailed narrative account of events. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing in this series, right? I'm going to be creating a detailed narrative, storytelling, account of events. That's correct. In order of their occurrence, in the order of their occurrence. So chronicle is in order. By the way, as an aside, I don't know if you guys know this, but the difference between an autobiography and a memoir. Do you know what the difference is? So an autobiography is the story of your life in order. I was born in 1994 and until whatever point you are in your life now. That's autobiography. Memoir is your life in any order you want to tell it, and also focused on a specific topic or theme. So I'm writing, for example, I'm writing my memoir now, and my memoir is about the struggle to discover my identity and my sexuality. So that's the memoir I'm writing, and I'm focusing on those themes. Now I'm going to cover my whole life, but yeah, I'm going to cover my whole life, but I'm not going to do it in order. So that's a memoir, and that's a different thing. The word chronicles is a noun that refers, it typically entails a series of stories, a little alliteration there, series of stories, or events presented in a chronological order. The term is commonly associated with recounting historical or fictional events. That's nice because I'm going to talk about both fiction and nonfiction as we do the series, often serving as a comprehensive and sequential documentation of a particular subject or period of time. Man, that fits so well. Now, what I could do, I could call it the GPT Chronicles. That also, the nice thing about GPT, without 3.5 or 4, obviously it keeps it, as long as it's keeping that name, I can keep that, it doesn't matter what version it is at the moment that's being used. The ChatGPT Chronicles, I like the Chronicles word. Now, that may be enough. I might decide it needs a subtitle. The GPT Chronicles is the name of my LinkedIn and YouTube series. Now, I probably don't need to do both at this point, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. Is the name of my, series. Every episode, give a little bit more information. Now that I got something to go with, every episode is 10 minutes long. And I'm going to basically summarize what I just told you about, the idea of, that was a moment where I just, hey, I want to tell you what the difference is between autobiography and memoir. And so I thought, yes, that's going to make this channel even more valuable than simply, yes, it is the thing you came for, and you're going to get another little tidbit here and there. It's not going to overwhelm it. We're going to stay on topic. But I can put that in this and see if it can generate for me a good, a good subtitle. Every episode is 10 minutes long and focuses and features a walkthrough of, let's see, I'm going to pull from the definition above that I was just looking at, features a walkthrough of how I use ChatGPT to develop, write, and produce a finished work, final writing projects. Listen, produce writing projects from all kinds of genres, writing projects in all genres and types of writing. Kinds of writing. Well, they're about the same. Anyway, kinds of writing. Please create a short. We're guessing that ChatGPT knows what short means. Please create a short subtitle to help explain this to viewers who only see the title and don't yet know what the series is about. Okay. So this would be the chat. It would be the GPT Chronicles : Unleashing Creativity with AI, your guide to writing mastery. Okay, that's not bad. Unleashing creativity. Now I like that because it implies very clearly. It says that I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to unleash your creativity. Now, I might not be a huge fan of the word unleashing, but I do like the whole concept. Let's see, and I do something. I'm going to give you guys a tip, you girls a tip. One of the reasons I'm so successful as an author, you've never heard of, is because I separate writing and editing. They don't happen at the same time. So you've seen stuff I've been writing. I don't think at any point I've ever erased the whole sentence and started over. Even half the sentence, I might back up a word or two, and that's fine. That is technically editing. I don't mind a word or two, but the goal is to separate it. So what I do is I say to myself, I want to use a different word for unleashing. It's taking too long for me sitting here. I'm going to get it stuck, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to talk myself into a distraction. So I'm going to put a bracket down here, and I'm going to write what I'm thinking. I like the concept of the word unleashing. Now, I'm not going to keep this in here for ChatGPT. This is somewhere to write it, and it's easy. Right here. It's quick. I like the concept of the word unleashing. But I want a different word, more in keeping with my projected idea. Then I'll throw down a bracket. That means I'm done with that thought. That whole bracket contains that thought. I didn't have to start writing and erase it, go, no, that's not what I want. And I can also come back to it later. It's easy to find, it's just a bracket. Okay, unleashing creativity with AI. I like that it doesn't repeat ChatGPT. So the way it would look like this: the GPT Chronicles, whatever it is, unleashing, or whatever the other word is. I might say your creativity to make it personal. Now, this makes me think of a couple things. It makes me think about, so here you can see how I'm using ChatGPT to generate ideas and feedback, and it gives me some stuff, and I can feed on it and chew on it a little bit. I could do all this apart from ChatGPT, but by having an expert sitting in front of me that can, help me do a sounding board kind of idea here, super helpful. I like the concept of the word unleash. Okay, the GPT Chronicles. Blank, whatever, your creativity. I like it's personal. Creativity, is that the objective of the series? Is the objective of this series to unleash, again, I might use a different word, is the objective to unleash your creativity? Well, the objective is to inspire you to use it and embrace technology, for one. It's to get you to really excited about using it because of what it can do for you, not in place of you, but what it can do for you to get you farther along faster. Let's see. And is creativity something I want? Yeah, that's inspiring for sure, that it's going to help release your creativity. But what if you're like me and you're thinking, I'm wildly creative already. I don't need ChatGPT to help me be more creative. Okay, that's fair. But you can see some other things it's starting to do right now is it's helping me think through things here. Let's see, what else? With AI, your guide. I do like the with AI. Unleashing your creativity. I'm going to throw down another bracket. Not sure that's the word I want. Yes, it's creative, inducing for the writers. But does it go far enough? And I'm not sure, so I'm going to throw that down. With AI, I like that a lot, so I'm just going to keep writing with AI. You see, I finished off the brackets. So these brackets are just my thoughts, and I put my thoughts out. I don't back up. This allows you to move fast, and I'm not moving fast because I'm taking my time to think through it, but it does allow me to not get distracted too much here. Let's see, the GPT Chronicles, Unleashing Your Creativity with AI, Your Guide to Writing Mastery. I do like that a lot. I like that a lot. Your Guide to Writing Mastery. Okay, now at this point, I'm kind of feeling like I wish I had another suggestion. I'm going to throw this down. Your Guide to Writing. I do like the writing part. Now, mastery. Not sure about the word mastery. I feel like that's not what I'm using this for. So I feel like, and I am allowed, same thing in these little, even in my parentheticals, I'm also not editing, and so I can back up a word or two, that's fine, but I want to keep that going, not back up too far, and become a massive edit. Not sure about the word mastery. I feel like the idea of the series is to inspire creativity. Now, at this point, I'm expanding on something I said earlier, the instructions I gave it, right, in my earlier prompt. Inspire creativity, encourage embracing technology. I'm going to say embracing AI, and show how writers can get a lot farther into their writings a lot faster with the help of ChatGPT. Now, that thought is going to become something for a new generative thing. So I'm just going to highlight the whole thing. I'm going to copy it. Now it's copied. Now I can go back and tell it this. The idea of the series is to inspire creativity, encourage embracing AI, and show how writers can get a lot farther into writings a lot faster with the help of ChatGPT. Period. Based on the prior question, the guide to unlocking. Now, why am I using the word unlocking? Well, my branding, as it continues to get formed, on my LinkedIn banner and also on my YouTube banner, it's got my name, my first name, Joey, and then it says this quote that I came up with, and it's in the shape of a key, and the quote actually mentions the word key, and that's intentional. It's subtle, but it's intentional that it looks like a key. So I like unlocking. I love secrets. If you're not aware of it, you will be soon. Look, I've done ghostwriting. I love to hide secrets. I love to find secrets. I love to protect secrets when they're needed to be protected. I cherish secrets, and I don't know why, but I love them. I love secrets. So I like unlocking, and there's a key in there. There's a key component. I like Easter eggs. I like hiding things. That sort of that stuff is very helpful for me, and I love that. I think it's very inspiring for people as well, and it's creative. So the GPT Chronicles, your guide to unlocking. Well, I already said your guide, so I need to say your again. The GPT Chronicles, your guide to unlocking. Well, my brain is saying, the power of, or whatever, AI. Let's look back at the prior stuff. Unleashing creativity. Nope, with AI. Okay. The GPT Chronicles. Everyone knows GPT is AI, I think, but let's say they don't. Let's say they're coming. Look, I've talked to a bunch of people. On occasion, I mentioned ChatGPT to them, and they're not in my normal circle of influence and their friends or whatever, or even acquaintances, and lots of them have never heard of ChatGPT before. And I think, how is that even possible? Well, of course it's possible if you're in a different industry, or you're not around nerds, or you're not into AI, or technology is not your big craving, whatever. I don't know. Some people aren't into sports, and so I have no idea what a certain thing means in reference to a certain sport that I don't follow. So yeah, it's going to be helpful for me to attract all writers, all ages of writers. And so AI would be helpful. So the chat, that word would be AI. The GPT Chronicles. Your guide to unlocking GPT Chronicles. This might be too long, but your guide to unlocking. I'm thinking right now about playing on the unlocking and the stories, and the stories that you're writing. The GPT Chronicles. I think I spelled Chronicles wrong. Chronicles. The one thing is, I really wish ChatGPT had a spell check, although it does have some form on my computer. That's good. GPT Chronicles, your guide to unlocking. Well, honestly, for branding's sake, I want to take a look at my brand. Okay, words are symbols, a key, but not the thing. They merely point to the thing. The writer's task is to persuade the reader to desire to know the thing. So, my reason for coming back to that is because I probably have it memorized, but I wanted to look at it and see if there's anything in that about the key, since I'm using the unlocking component. Words are symbols, a key. This is referencing symbols and words as being a key. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this for you guys, but it's not the thing. They point to the thing. So that might be too confusing to kind of reference back to that. But I did want to look at it. Let's go back to writing. The GPT Chronicles, your guide to unlocking, and I think unlocking is more important than embrace. AI. Your guide to unlocking AI's power in your writing. Now that is too long and too clunky. But what I might say is this. I might say, this is my current series title, put in quotes, keeping, okay, let's say, please please create a new subtitle based on what you've learned so far. I might be telling it too much. Let's find out. So sometimes I get stuff wrong. Please create a new subtitle. It created a whole new thing. Now that's because I didn't define it. I could have said, probably should have said now in hindsight, this is my current series title, quote, the GPT Chronicles, quote, period. The subtitle is, quote, your guide to unlocking AI's power in your writing. Please create a new subtitle based on what you've learned so far. Anyway, so I could have done that, but I'm not going to waste my time right now. Unleashing creative brilliance. Empower your writing with AI in the GPT Chronicles. Unleashing, back to that word unleashing, creative brilliance. Now I like that a lot. So what if we did the GPT Chronicles, your guide, and I know sometimes I copy and paste and I could have just typed the whole thing out faster. The GPT Chronicles, your guide Your writer's guide to unlocking your creative brilliance. Okay, I'm really, really, really liking this. Really liking this. Creative brilliance is great. I believe that every person, whether you're a writer or not, but I believe every person has within them something that they are brilliant at that nobody can do as well as they can do. I believe that. So sometimes it never gets unlocked. It's trapped behind trauma or drugs or, all kinds of addictions or shame or whatever, fear. But everyone has within them, I believe, something they're uniquely brilliant at. So I like the word brilliant, creative brilliance, your creative brilliance. It says unlocking your creative brilliance. No matter where you are, I have creative brilliance, but I can use this to unlock my creative brilliance, to be even more brilliant. Speaking of that, when someone says, "Are you famous? Have I possibly read one of the books you've ghostwritten?" I say, yes, I'm famous, and I can always be more famous. So I also believe that everybody's. I understand I'm playing with the word famous, but I think everybody's famous. You can become more famous for sure, or less famous. So I think I like that. The GPT Chronicles. Now there's too many yours. I'm gonna make it the. Give it some authority also. Instead of a writer's guide, it's the writer's guide. So the GPT Chronicles. Now we've got the on there twice. Anyway, I'll think about that for a minute. The GPT Chronicles, the writer's guide to unlocking your creative brilliance. And now I don't need a period at the end. The GPT Chronicles. If I had to choose between two thes, I would go with the first the. It's stronger. The GPT Chronicles. It's like a book series. The GPT Chronicles. The writer's guide might still be okay. The writer's guide to unlocking your creative brilliance. And there's nothing about AI in there. So what if it was the GPT Chronicles? I'm trying to do two birds with one stone. Get rid of the two thes if I can. The GPT Chronicles, the writer's guide to unlocking What if we did that? What if we got rid of the writer's word? The guide to unlocking your creative writing brilliance. Well, shoot, that does something I didn't intend. It makes, it sounds like creative writing, and I'm talking about all writing, not just creative writing. It's not just, yeah, it's changing the meaning. So I'm gonna go back to the writer's guide. The writer's guide to unlocking. Ooh, the writer's AI guide. GPT Chronicles, the writer's AI guide to unlocking your creative brilliance. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I'm gonna keep that and call it a day. Now I might tweak it a little bit more on its journey to become a logo. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's what we got. So you can see it did take me this whole thing took about an hour. It's gonna summarize it. Do I need a parting slogan? Go unlock your creative brilliance.